Moment of decision. At first, the narrator tells us about Hugh. He was very sure in himself, and he was an exception of people who were very sure in themselves, because many people uh, liked Hugh though, and um, Hugh always was had a strong opinion uh, on everything, and he also wanted everyone else to agree with him. Um, and so the narrator, who was his friend and Hugh's wife, also agreed with him in every question. And the narrator also tells us the story how Hugh and his wife, narrator's sister, met. Elizabeth was standing in front of a modern art picture in a gallery, and she was looking at it, thinking about it, and Hugh arrived and told her that it was a complete nonsense. It was complete nonsense, and she um, wasn't supposed to spend her time, to waste her time on it. Then they got acquainted, and Hugh told her what was good and what was bad, and she agreed with everything. And then she decided uh, that Hugh would be a good husband, because he would never have any um, have he would never be nervous, and he would always know what to do and help her and so on. So she married him, and they lived in a big luxurious house. um, and the narrator spent a lot of time there, and Hugh also was uh, bound in that house, was bound up in that house, which was called Hilltop. Uh, but there was also another house in the neighborhood, which was also old and luxurious, was like a castle, and Hugh always wanted to buy it, but there wasn't any opportunity. And the narrator was always relished to spend time with Hugh and his wife, his sister. And one day they were spending their time outside, mm, and there also were Hugh's sheeps who were eating grass and, and walking around. But appeared suddenly another man appeared. He was Raymond, and his poodle uh, tried to play with sheeps, and the sheep got scared, and Hugh uh, immediately solved the situation. Uh, by he calmed the sheep down, and then he talked to the stranger angrily. He told him that he had to um, he had to know how to teach his dog how to behave, right? So he was really angry, and he didn't like the stranger at the first sight. But when the stranger told him that he was Hugh's new neighbor, Hugh got uh, even more uh, annoyed, because he was surprised by the fact that um, the Dane house, the house that Hugh always wanted to buy, was bought by some other by a string by another man. So Hugh and the man got acquainted, and the man was Raymond, a famous magician who got retired because, as he said at first, he didn't want to work because uh, he didn't enjoy it anymore, and also he didn't need more money. Uh, the narrator really was relished to get acquainted with Raymond, because uh, Raymond was a famous artist and a very inspiring person. He also had a strong personality, and he didn't agree with everything which what Hugh said. He was also a clever person with his own opinion. Hugh and Raymond were made from one cloth, and they could be good friends, but they didn't like each other because they both were leaders. So then if you when some time ago, um, when Hugh uh, was already in a bad relationship with Raymond. Raymond told them he told Hugh and Elizabeth and the narrator that he really liked the Dane house, but it was too big for him. It was like a museum, and also Raymond didn't like the woods in front of the house, because he couldn't see a river, the river from his window, and that's why Raymond wanted to repair his house, to change it, and to get rid of some trees in front of the windows. And Hugh got really angry because he really loved the Dane house as it was, and he wanted to do everything to stop Raymond from repairing it. So he ordered to his servants to sit behind the road to the Dane house and not to let cars with some materials for repairing, not to let them pass by and to go into the Dane house. And the narrator learned it from Elizabeth, and then Elizabeth also told the narrator that she's got a plan how to she had got a plan how to return peace into two men's relationship. She wanted to make a dinner and to have a nice conversation and to make them friends again. So during the dinner, they there was also a doctor who was invited to the dinner, and all the attention wasn't and Hugh wasn't not all the attention was paid to Hugh but to Raymond, because the doctor was asking him the doctor asked a lot of questions and Raymond answered, and one of the questions was what instruments Raymond used to for his tricks, and Raymond answered that the main instrument for his tricks is psychology and knowing people. And he explained it with an example. He showed a trick with a door in Hugh's house. So he asked Hugh if the door in front of them were open, and Hugh told him that yes, it was open. It had been open for years. And then Raymond asked Hugh to give the key of the door to the doctor, and then doctor stand up and tried to open the door with the key, and he did that. So the door was locked. And then Raymond explained that he knew that he would be asked to show some tricks. That's why he closed the door himself before the dinner. But Hugh wasn't satisfied with that trick. He told them that everyone could close the door with a fake key, and everyone could make such a trick. So he asked So he asked Raymond to and doctor and the narrator to go with them mm, downstairs underground, and he showed them a room. It was a small room with a door without any locks, and it closed by it didn't have any locks, but in the room uh, there was an iron collar in the room on a chain. So if the person um, was locked in that iron collar, he or she wasn't able to open the door because uh, he or she couldn't reach it. And if the door was closed, uh, the air uh, the oxygen was limited, so uh, a man or a woman wouldn't mm, live a long time in that room and die from suffocation. Mm, so Hugh and Raymond started arguing, and Hugh asked Raymond if he was able to get out from that little room, and Raymond at first told Hugh that he didn't want to do it because the real reason why he retired was lack of health and his weak heart. But anyway, uh, he told Raymond that if after an hour in that room Raymond will get out, he will go away from Hilltop and will never come back. And if Raymond won't be able to get out from that room, Raymond will have to get away, and the Dane house will be Hugh's. And Raymond agreed to try to do it, and that's how the story ends, with an open end.